Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Storm Surge. Now, it's a bit of an unusual puzzle choice this morning. So this is actually one of James Sinclair's Artisinal Sudoku puzzles, but it's actually from a few weeks ago. Now, one of the subscribers on the channel emailed me, I'm going to say roughly the day that this came out or a couple of days afterwards, basically requesting that I feature this particular puzzle. I have waited this long because I actually did solve it. Unsurprisingly, I do actually do Sudoku in my spare time on top of my recording. I really do like logic puzzles. So I just needed to wait a little bit to try and forget how I've solved this particular puzzle, which I think probably enough puzzles have lapsed by now that would be true. Anyway, let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set and see what James has in store for us. So this puzzle has been solved already 1,500 times. So there's a high chance that some of you have already seen it. In that case, I do apologize. Stick around. There will be a bit of a bonus video, I'm hoping, this afternoon that you can enjoy as well. Anyway, rules-wise, we've got normal Sudoku rules apply. Place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row. Every column, of course, every 3x3 box. Then we have arrows. The sum of the digits along an arrow is equal to the digit in the connected circle. So if this cell is a 1 and this cell is a 2, these two cells on the arrow sum up to 3, which would be in the connected circle in here. So whatever these three cells add up to, they will be inside that circle as well. Got, of course, thermometers. Digits on thermometers increase from the bulb. So this is the bulb end, this is the bulb end, and that's the bulb end. Actually, I can't. They have to be the same length. And essentially, if this cell is a 2, this would have to be 3 or higher. Can't be in regular steps, so a step of 1, a step of 2, all of that's allowed, as long as I never decrease anywhere as I go up that thermometer. It's a broken thermometer at that point. You wouldn't want to use it to measure your temperature. As always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So, that thermometer, it's... let's take a step back and think around this. So there's clearly almost like a bit of a storm surge, hence the name, going on around box 5. So this should be something that is interesting that we should take a look at. But before we get stuck in, and actually, all of these arrow sums, we know that they're from 6, 7, 8, 9 because they've got 3 cells that they're adding. The minimum I can make is 1, 2, and 3 in the same column or the same row. And obviously that would mean a minimum of 6. But we've got what looks like a 7 cell. Is that 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, and 7, 8, 9. Right, here is something that you can immediately do. That can't possibly be a 7. A 7 with a 1 or 2, you add up these 3, that's a 10. That's not going to work. Remove the 7, remove a degree of freedom from all of these, and we have something interesting. We can keep going. Yeah, we can keep going. Right, look across to this arrow. If this is 1 or 2, I have broken the puzzle because the minimum now is 3, 4, 5, and that would add up to 12. So this cell is actually reasonably large. There's potentially a 1 in here, a 2 in there. There's a minimum of 3 over there. And technically I can go all the way up to 5, 5, 3, and a 1. That would actually work. 3, 4 with 1 or 2, so this is just 1 or 2. That clearly can't be 6 or 7 anymore because the minimum I can make is 1, 3, 4. In fact, this is probably because I can't have both the 1 and 2 on the arrow. I can also remove the 6 and 7 in here. Because if I put 1 and 2 in here to get to 3 or 4, to get to 6 or 7, I've broken this cell. So yeah, I can remove the 6 and 7 in here. I'm kind of wondering if I'm going to, of course, 5 and 6. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So 1 and 2 would be the minimum with a 5 to get to an 8. 6 and 7 are also gone in here. We're going to repeat it for a... I was going to say a trifecta. Quadfecta? Is that a thing? Tetrafecta? Yeah, I need to do something with this arrow and then the interaction with this thermometer. Something's happening here that I suspect will tell me this cannot be 6 or 7. Let's try this thermometer first. So this is far less interesting. That's 5 cells. That's a lot of degrees of freedom. 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that could go all the way down to 5. Well, it can't. This cell, yeah, this cell cannot be, especially because I cannot have 1 and 2. It can't even be a 6. 1, 3, and 5 is the absolute minimum. So 5, 4, 3, of course, they could do that. But then it just goes haywire in here in terms of number of options. Which could be interesting because obviously the minimum now is 4 and 5. So I mean, so far, and I think that is also going to be another 4 minimum. So in these 5 cells, we have to place the digits 1, 2, 3. It's not quite interesting enough to pencil mark just yet. It may be later. All right, let's see what we can do with this arrow. So 1, 2, 3. So this is a minimum of 3. That would become a minimum of 4. Now there's surely a better way to minimize this. Let's try that again. 4, 3, 2. I can then sneak a 1 in here. I can sneak a 2. So technically I can't get to 6. But I could get to 7. I can't imagine this could be a 5, can it? Oh, hang on. Take a look at column 7. There's a lot of pressure on low digits. And I think it's the same thing in row 7. Chances are all of these are from the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, in here, because the highest I could get on this arrow was a 5 because I can't have 1 and 2, so 6 would break it. So all of these are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5s. And because of the 2, 3, 4 in here, and look at, with the pressure with the 1, 2, 3 in here, I mean, can I do this? 6, 2, 1? What happens then? That becomes a minimum of 3. That would be a 4. That would be at least, that would be 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3. That would be a 4. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Yeah, Sudoku, of course, is coming to the rescue. 3, 1, and 2. That would become a 4. That would be a 5. That would have to be a 1 to limit it to a single digit. So there's definitely something going on here that I'm not quite appreciating. Row 7, maybe? 2, 3, 4. Let's try this. If this is 3, that would be 2, that would be 1. And obviously, because that's 2, that would be 1. And then that would be 4. And then the 2 would be in here, as would the 5. In fact, 2, 3, 5, that breaks. Because if I use 1 and 4 in here, right, yes, so these we establish are from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I make this minimum in here, this sum of these two cells, too low, in this case 5, well, the remainder is adding up to 10. I'm not going to be able to get inside that circle. So a 3 in here breaks because it forces 2 and a 1, and then 1 and 3 means that the minimum now is 4. Technically, actually, I could have been fine. I could have gone for a 5 and then 2, 3, 4 in here and get to 9. The interesting thing is, it seems like, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Can I undo that? Yep. The interesting thing seems to me that this seems to be resolving to a 9. Is it always going to resolve to a 9? That is the question. With the 4 here, that could be a 3. 3 is not high enough. because we're back to the same problem of these two cells adding up to 5, therefore these three cells adding up to 10. So this is never a 3, because that is a maximum of 2, right? So 3 is off the table. Then if this is 7, if this is 2 and 5, that would be 2, 3, 4. That would be 4, 5, 10. So I can't make this add up to 7. And therefore these two cells do add up to 6. And it's 1, 5 or 2, 4. And therefore these three cells have to add up to 9. That's my first digit. Goodness me, it took me 8.5 minutes. With a definite 3 in here. Okay, can I take this a bit further? So 3, 2, 1 would force 3, 1. Oh yeah, 3, 2, 1 would make this a 5, would make this 2, 3, 4. 4, 3, 2 would make this 4 and would make this 1, 3, 5. Hang on, 4, 3, 2, that would have to be a 5. That's broken. Yep, that's 3, that's 2, that's 1, that's 1. This, remember, has to add up to 6. Because 4 would break this cell, so it has to be 5. That's another 9. And yeah, that is a tough break, and that is now a 2. Pretty sure it has to have a 1, otherwise the 5 or 6 would not get me to 8 or 9. And this is now 2, 3, 4. It is not a 5 in here. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. This is going to make this arrow a lot more interesting, especially now that I have a 1, 2 pair in here. This is a minimum of 3. And if you remember, this is also a minimum of, well, it's not even a minimum of 3 anymore, it's a minimum of 4. 4 and 3 break the puzzle again, because we've got 4 in the column from 3 digits. So I can't even minimize this to an 8 with 4, 3, 1 because it breaks this one. So long story short, we'll figure out the composition of that in a second. This has to be a 9. And because I can only have one of the digits 2, 3, 4, I have to have the 1 on here. The 1 would have to be there, because it can't be on halfway up the arrow and it can't conflict with Sudoku. And then the remaining 2 digits add up to 8. And this is 2, 6 this way, which is impossible, or 3, 5 this way. And it is 3, 5, no 3s in here. No 3s, 2s and 4s can stay. And without the 1 in here, this is 2, 3, this is 3, 4. This is fantastic. And now this is a minimum of 6. That is a lot more interesting again. Right. I mean, it's all leading up towards the fact that this is almost certainly going to be a 9, but let's see how we can deduce that somehow. 2, 4 pair means that's not a 2. One of these is a 3. If it's a 3, that's 2, that's 1, that's 4. Yeah, not too sure actually. Notice we now have a 1, 9 pair here. I should do more Sudoku. 9s, 9s, 9s. 1s, 1s, 1s. So I have a 1, 9 pair there. So this is now a maximum of 8, maximum of 7. Admittedly, it's still a lot more than I like to pencil mark, although this one can't be a 5, so this is 6, 7, 8. Now the 2 can't be here. The 2, yeah, the 2 is not there. The 2 is in here, which gives me my 3 and 4. These can't be 3, so one of these cells is a 3. Guess which one it is. It's not going to be on a thermometer after the 5. That's the 3. 4 is now forced. It can't be after the 5, and it's none of these cells. So that's the 4, that's a 3, that's a 2, that's a 1, that's a 4, that's a 2, that's not a 2, that is a 2. That 4 gave me a 5 if I paid attention. And we finish off with a bunch of 6, 7, 8s. Lovely. We still haven't proven that this is a 9. It'll be such an odd twist that this is an 8 later, but you can see 6, 7, 8s are playing a bit of a role right now everywhere. So interesting. That's definitely a 5. Not sure what to think of that. Just doing a bunch of Sudoku. I always underappreciate it and just how much value it can give me. Although right now it doesn't feel like a lot of value. Right, I'm going to do this a bit more systematically. 1s. Yeah, not very interesting. 2s. Not very interesting again. Yeah, actually, okay, 2s. Then a grid of them there. 3s. Even less interesting. Yeah, am I meant to be doing? It's probably like columns and rows that I should be thinking about. So yeah, more 6, 7, 8s. More 6, 7, 8s. Definite 4 in here. So I don't know if we're going to end up coloring the 6, 7, 8. So I've got 1, 6, 7, 8, another 6, 7, 8, a third 6, 7, 8 with the 2. We've got all 3, 6, 7, 8s in here. So the rest of this is actually kind of interesting. 5, 7, 9. Can I do anything with that? Five, 6, 7 would make this 8, would make this 8, would make this 6. Okay. 6, 7, 8 would make this 9, would make this 6, would make this 7. I think I just said that this is never 8. I think I really did say that. 5, 6, 7, that would be 8. 6, 7, 8, still not 8. Okay. Clutching at straws now. Yeah, I can, hang on, sleuth, come on, 5. Sure, just ignore the information that's been totally given, absolutely given, and somehow make it seem harder than it really is. That doesn't sound like me at all. Right, that was helpful. 9, 1, 9, 1. Yeah, just, we're not going to talk about that. There's another 6, 8 down here. Hang on, how did this pencil mark look this bad? 5 9s and 3. And these are not the 3s, that is the 3. That is looking much better. Also, if I pencil mark incorrectly, it's not going to help me with the solve, is it? 7s, you can see, none of these. Yeah, this is looking much better now. 7, I can type. 7, 7, no 7s in here. 4, 7 pair there. 2, 6, 8 in here. Lovely. What's the rest of this? 6, 8, 4, and 5. So up here is 4 or 5 because it can't be 6 or 8. Then I have 4 or 5 with 6 or 8. What's the rest of it? It's all 4, 5, 6, 8. Okay. Interesting. Any other easy Sudoku? You'd be very welcome round about now. That's a 3. That's a 9. That's a 5. That's a 9. You know, trust me to make it look like I've never solved this puzzle before. Rest of it doesn't feel like interesting pencil marks. Nor is it in here, really. Right, so we probably should start thinking about that arrow. So the arrow circle cannot be 1, 2. So we know it's not 3. It could be 1, 3. So I could technically get away with a 4. It's not 5. It's not 6. It's not 7. Or 8 or 9. 1, 3 feels like really tight, but unfortunately possible. So what I may need to do here is pencil mark a ton. My favorite. In fact, 8. It's not in these two cells, it's in here, so it's off the table. It's either 4 or 9. Again, highly likely 9. Right, I'm just going to pencil mark. There's no avoiding it, really. Yeah, I can't avoid it. And really not a fan. Oh, come on, Sleuth. There's got to be something better. Actually, where's 7 in column 1? It's not here. It's in one of these two cells. Clearly, if it's a 7 in here, well, it can't be a 7 there, because that would be 2, which it isn't, to get to 9. So that's not 7. That is 7. That is an 8. That is 6, 8, 4, 7. Let's try all of that again. 4, 7, not 7. Forget the 7s. Not an 8 is an 8. I can still do that. 3 is up there. 3 is on here. So this is either 5, no, 6, which it isn't. To get what? Yeah, it is. It is a 4. That is unexpected. And therefore that is 9. That's not 9. And that's 6. I have done some phenomenally dodgy Sudoku. I'm going to rewind all of what I've just done and try that again. Seriously? Like, how did I make that difficult? 4, 7. Right. Like, we're on the same page here. I still say, I will still maintain 8 is in one of these two cells. I still maintain that this is 4, not 5, not 6, not 7, and clearly not 8 because there are no 8s in here, or 9. So far so good. And then I absolutely butchered it from here somehow. Well, 6 is none of these. 6 is up there. Maybe I should just focus on this column. 3 is clearly nowhere here or there. So that is a 3. And therefore this is 1 or 6. That is definite. Okay. And then the rest of this, I do need a 4. 4, 6, 8, 9. So this is 4 or 8. This is 4, 6, 8, technically, or 9. And I actually don't have enough information at this point to resolve this. Don't know how I managed to think I did the first time round. Right. 4689 extends to all of this. Yeah, we're going to have to do a lot more pencil marking. 7, 6, 1, 9, 9, not 6, 8, 6, not 6 again, is 9. 8 means that's the 8, that's the 4. Right, and now we are in the clear, I'm going to say. This is a 6-8 pair. That gives me a digit up here of a 4, a 5, 2 known digits, 7 and 4. 4 and 7, not 7. 6-8 pair, which means this 6-8, admittedly, could be here. It doesn't have to be there. What have we got up there? Another 6-8 in here, of course. And then a 4-5. I need a 2, a 3, that can't be there anyway. Then this column is 5-8. That's not the 8, that's the 5, that's the 8, that's the 6. 8, 6. Another 4-5 is a 4, a 5, a 4. 2-8, that's the 8, that's the 2. That's not been the 1 for a while. That is a 9. Then I need 2, 4. No, 2, 5. 5, 2, 2, 6 or 8. And I should just pay attention to Sudoku. There you go. 8, 6, 8, 6, 7, 6. And if I've not made more silly mistakes, 8 for the finish. Phenomenal puzzle, Mr. Sinclair. Hopefully that was, I'm happy with the intro solve, and then I just went off piste into who knows the distance, lost to the surge, so to speak. Hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back soon. Bye-bye for now.